Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Showcase on Warframe. Today's little title here, Nekros, the Necromancer. Alright, so as many as the new Warframes like to create their own little copies of enemies, Nekros was the original Dead Razor. He did it first. He did it before it was cool. Anyhow, building Nekros for an Ultima build, as you come to learn him, is a bit of a arbitrary thing to do. He's not really designed for combat. He is a support, offensive support at that. Though his forte is not combat, despite being an offensive support, at least not directly. You'll understand more as I go through the ability list, though the description only tells a light example of everything to come. Now, Nekros fills a really weird position for players. Normally he's used for farming thanks to his Desecrate ability, which is probably the easiest one to do farming with, since you don't have to really focus on it. Just toggle the ability and keep going. Alright, where you get Nekros? Well, you go to the Derelicts. Yep, the Derelicts. And from there, you go to the Assassination. We have to go kill Levantis. So yeah, he's like the only Warframe you can farm that's not on a planet. I think that's correct. There's too many Warframes to really verify that now. Either way, it's a bit of a tedious to make these damn keys since you can only make one per hour. And if RNG is not kind to you, you could be doing it for a long time. But oh well, it's better than trying to farm Equinox. Now, visually, well, first thing that draws immediately too much attention to himself is his choice of undergarments. Big package there. But anyway, he has a very distinct look to him. Now, as much as the head makes him, I think it's meant to be a little hood, it kind of looks like a squid to me. Especially when you get the dreads, his accessory, the dreads on, which you'll see later. Yeah. Anyway, I noticed these little fancy little ninja socks there, which is pretty cool. But these little protruding pointy bits on him. Not sure what the point of it all. But still, he has a really unique face with two, I don't know, I'm not sure what the two lights on him are supposed to signify. Are the eyes? I don't know. Weird. But yes, there's a lot of pointy bits, and everything he's quite bulky up towards the top, but he gets really slender towards the bottom of him. It's like a skipped leg day. Every day. But he's not the biggest Warframe, no. Alright, let's go on some stats. Some base stats. His health is a base one of 100. Standard. His shield, though, is slightly lower at 90, which is odd. Armor at 65. Energy at 100. Sprint speed 1.1. Alright, and polarity's built in. He has a Vazarin and a Matarai. Alright. His aura polarity is blank. So that's rather annoying because you have to at least form him once to get that extra points. So yeah, pretty obnoxious there. Now let's go over those abilities. You got Soul Punch, which is designed to hit one opponent, though it can pass through opponents and hit multiple. Terrify, well, it makes enemies flee from you in groups and reduces their armor at the same time, providing you still want to fight them after casting it. Desecrate, which is farm ability, which simply doubles the enemy's drops, or forces them to drop again, not having the same percentage chance as first time. And there's the Shadows of the Dead, or like to say in short, muchachos, where you pretty much take the enemies you've killed, or those shadows have killed, and then summon them on your side, and they'll fight for you. Alright. And also he has the Nekros' passive to restore a small amount of health with every nearby enemy death. I think it was only 10-15 though, so it's not a whole lot. But if you kill a lot of enemies really quickly, then it will be a lot. Now, as I mentioned, he's a support offensive. And as you look at it, for direct combat, he only has one ability, Soul Punch. That is the only ability that he actually inflicts damage upon enemies. The other ones are not him directly applying damage. You can apply damage after with your guns, but not with abilities. Because Terrify makes enemies run, Desecrate doesn't do any damage, and Shadows of the Dead is you not doing direct damage, but your muchachos doing the damage for you. So, he's a little boss, isn't he? But anyway, let's look at the Soul Punch first. So, Soul Punch, pretty simple. Cast it, sends enemy flying. Ragdolls them. Pretty useful for more powerful opponents that give you a hard time. Just do this, and boom. Have a group, you can maybe knock down a couple of them. Though, the firepower of Soul Punch is not very impressive at all. It will not kill high-level opponents. These Butchers are only level 65, and is a level 30 Bolt Nekros. So, yeah. So it's easy to use. And quick. Next, I want to look at Terrify. Well, there isn't a whole lot, but at least to show you what it looks like. And for armor reduction, that can stack on top of your corrosive rejection. So if you have a whole couple of guys who have it, and plus use this, the enemy will have no armor at all. So that's pretty helpful. So if you have enemies giving you a really hard time, and you just want a moment to yourself, maybe hack a door, who knows, just cast Terrify. They'll immediately start bolting away from you. I can't, they usually spread out in different directions, not usually all choosing the same one. And they won't attack anyone for the duration of your, well, Terrify being active. They'll just keep running away. Only from you, though, not your friends. You're the scary one. Next, I'll lightly show what Desecrate looks like. It's the most common used ability on Nekros, for him being a farming Warframe if you need a lot of resources, really quickly. Or you just want to get more Organ Cells, which is tedious to grab. But you can see that power range is the very big thing here. And energy, well, for every enemy you do farm, it does take 10 energy by default. So you cast right there, and it's a toggled ability. It's not one you can have to press. You just toggle it once, and it's on until you choose for it not to be, or Nullifier changes that for you. Alright, so that enemy didn't drop anything. Let's see this one. Let's give it a few seconds. Nothing. So how about this one? Kill them, and there we go. Got a health orb. Neat. So that's pretty much the base of that. Now for the interesting one. The Muchachos, the Shadows of the Dead. Now, it's all based on who you killed, and there's a priority. More powerful enemies are prioritized over weaker ones, but I'll be only using Butchers for this. It's really besides the point who I use. Now, the interesting thing about Shadows of the Dead, you'll be summoning to the enemy's level, if not slightly stronger. So no matter what, even if you're the weakest Nekros on the block, your Shadows of the Dead should still go toe-to-toe with the enemies somewhat successfully, although I can only summon 3 of them and I only have 3 enemies in here, so you'll see in the test how that works. So, these guys will follow you around. They're not physical beings, so they can't block you into doors. And when they kill opponents, you get 50% of the experience, because you're the boss. And then they're not. I recommend choosing about energy levels like this deep red, or maybe a yellow. Because when you're in combat, your friends get rather annoyed if you summon about these Shadows of your Muchachos here, and you can't tell the difference between the opponents. Very obnoxious. But enough of the plain Nekros, let's go into Nekros Prime. Now, take all the basic abilities and Nekros Primes and just turn it up ever so slightly. A little bit more effective, he is. And comes a little bit pre-customized, which is also nice. But, however, there's still no aura polarity, which drives me nuts. How to get him, though, it's not too hard of a farm. His blueprint is rather obnoxious, and I believe his chassis or system was too. I kind of forget, it's been a while. But he came with the Tigress Prime, and I believe the Carrier Prime? I might be wrong on that one, it's been too long. But it's besides the point, we're here to look at Nekros Prime. But enough of that, let's move on to the stats for Nekros Prime. Health is a standard 100 still, though shield is much higher at 150. You think health will be increased, but no matter. Armor remains the same at 65. Energy is slightly better at 125. Sprint speed remains the same, 1.1. And for polarities, he has an additional one. He has the Madurai, the Vazarin, and the Neramond. But as I mentioned earlier, no aura still. Very irritating, that is. But oh well. Now let's take a quick look at him visually, and he's most the same. Well, let's zoom up that junk, and it's not as protruding. Very nice. Now another thing that really points out, he has the same feet, but he has golden toenails. So weird. Oh, but yeah, it's the same protruding pointy bits all around him, plus 2 shoulder scarfs, as I like to call them. Looks more like that squid now, even without the dreads. But anyway, his helmet definitely has a dramatic change. It's no longer a hood, I'm not sure what to call it even. I don't know. That's a good question. But yes, the same build as you would expect, but something interesting on his chest here. These are default colors. So when you look around his stomach gut, you'll notice it's all red here, so I guess it signifies someone like he's missing a rib cage or something. I guess it's supposed to resemble guts. So a little more gory in nature, perhaps? Perhaps. yeah, I think that's a correct assumption. But otherwise, it's really nice and pleasing, and I guess the junk does protrude, just from an angle, not from front. Never mind, take that first point back. I guess we're done here now. Moving on. Let's go on to my ultimate build, although it's questionable. Trying to build the ultimate build for Nekros is a bit beside the point. He's not meant for combat. But anyhow, as you can see, I got various stats. I got 155 duration, 100 efficiency, 100 range, because I don't find either of those too important, and 150 power strength. I didn't want to butcher anything. And you can see my various other stats. Now, you could put faster deflection on instead of some of the other mods on there, because you want a lot of shield recharge rate if you're taking a lot of damage, but I didn't seem it necessary for my position. And for health, I got Prime Vigor, Vitality, Redirection for shields, which Prime Vigor also goes for shields, Prime Flow of Energy, Prime Continuity for, you know, the duration. And you got Intensify and Power Drift for the power strength. The aura mod, it's whatever you're choosing. I just chose Rejuvenation because for this build, I actually probably want it. Because you want a constant influx of health, because I have health conversion. So whenever I pick up a health orb, I get granted 450 Shi or armor. Yes, definitely armor. And it can stack up to 3 times. And when you're doing Deadball Desecrate, enemies drop more health orbs. So that's like the best mod from Cephalon Samaris. It's specifically built pretty much for this Warframe. No one else gets more health orbs than Nekros, so this gives them a lot of armor advantage, over 500. And then I also used Despoil, which instead of using energy while farming, it takes from my health, which is replenished by the health orbs, so it's kind of more of an infinity cycle at that point. And the rest of the energy can be dedicated for my other abilities, instead of it being constantly drained. So this is actually a functional build. It is my farming plus ultimate build. Sort of. Anyway. But yeah. So there's other mods you can throw on there, but I find this one the best balance. Okay, and here's what my abilities look like. My Soul Punch, for what it's worth, does 725 damage. Terrifies duration of 38 seconds, which is what I'm aiming for on that one. And 29 enemies will be affected, and their armor will be slightly reduced. I don't find it to be that important if I'm using Terrify, because then they're running away targets. Desecrate remains unchanged, because again, I don't need a huge range, but range is pretty good on that. But Shadows of the Dead is where I put a lot of the effort. For damage multiplier, you can see I got 3.17. That means my shadows would be that much stronger than their plane counterparts. Their health multiplier, which means I have a lot more health at 2.4 times. Same thing goes for the shield. Health decay per second. Now, that's something I forgot to mention earlier, but the shadows do decay with their health over time. And with more power, strength, and duration, you they die slower. Though if you want to keep your buddies, just simply recast the ability and it'll automatically heal them. Alright. With all that done, I'm actually going to only test 2 abilities. I'm going to show you what Soul Punch does, and Shadows of the Dead. Because Terrify, it doesn't need to be shown. We already know what it does. Having better duration is besides the point. And Desecrate it can't really be used in combat effectively. It's, you know, an after effect of combat. So, the 725 damage, well, I suddenly enemies flying, but I don't really hurt them too badly. These are still butchers. These guys have low armor, low health. This ability was just meant for ragdolling more powerful enemies, in my opinion. Get a Bombard, get a Heavy Gunner, use Soul Punch, knock them over, run away, or shoot them when they're on the ground. Although I will admit one thing, it's incredibly amusing to send enemies flying in this regard. You could kill them if there's open ground like this in a combat scenario, but not all places have open air like this. Alright, I'll kill a few enemies. There's, let's see, that's about 4, there'll be a couple. Let's see how many I summon. Okay, now for the Shadows of Dead. I'm immortal though, so I don't have to worry about them chopping on me. I summoned 4 of them. And I'll let them do the fighting now. And you can see they're wrecking the place pretty good. Okay, yep, pretty good. And I just lost 1. You can see the counter of your muchachos in the bottom right corner. So you see I still have 3. And what, those 4 guys took on 12? And you can see they're pretty much win that fight pretty easily. Although they're now at the end of their life cycle, but just straight up fight like that. But you just recast the ability to heal them. So you can see with that little ability there, you can just summon new muchachos at a moment's notice. Very useful. But I think that's enough going over this. let's go on to the pros and cons of Nekros, which I'll be only going to score for the Prime version, because using the plain one is pretty obsolete if you have the Prime one. Anyway, on the pros, he's excellent for farming, as I mentioned earlier probably a couple times. You definitely get a lot of resources out of using Nekros, and he's very easy to use in terms of that. You just turn on the ability and you kind of forget about it. He's also good for surviving, because again, you can cause enemies to run from you, and you summon new muchachos in a moment's notice. And then run away like a little bitch. But hey, he who flees but gets to fight another day. Anyhow. So that's pretty much a general idea of Nekros. I don't consider a whole lot of pros there, but going on to cons, he's not really built for combat, not the Warframe itself. It's like throwing the actual farmer into a war. He's alright, he's physically fit, but he's not really a killing machine. It's a good analogy, actually. But anyway, yes, those are the pros and cons. Not a whole lot of pros and a whole lot of cons. It's pretty basic Warframe in that sense. But anyway, going to the score, we'll start with stats. Stats, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. He's alright, but I don't know, his shields are good, but health is average, and energy is just a little bit good. He's okay. Design, though, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. In terms of execution of being a necromancer, it's there, but it's not entirely the most useful thing I thought it would be. Concept, though, I'll give it 8 out of 10. Necromancer, come on, we all love necromancers in games. Rising the Dead, that's always awesome. And Nekros does it pretty decently. Endgame, however, 3 out of 10. He's not built for high-end. He's not built to take on level 145s. He can make him run away and you can knock him over, but his abilities isn't going to kill them unless he gets muchachos to do so. And doing that's rather dangerous in such levels. Misk, though, 8 out of 10. You'll always need a Nekros. That's obvious. For farming. But in total, I give Nekros 32 out of 50. He's a great Warframe. Always will be for his farming abilities, and the other abilities are acceptable. Okay, when it comes down to judgment, it's me judging whether Warframe is really worth the ultimate build. And Nekros, by nature, I do not believe he's worth ultimate building. If he's your favorite Warframe, more power to you. But I don't think you really gain a whole lot by putting multiple forms in him. You can get a couple to get those stats up, but in the end, we all use them for farming, and that's probably what it's going to always be. But no matter. That's been Showcase for today. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Hope to see you guys next time. Take care out there.